Come on in. We got a great show for you today here on Wheelchair Wednesday at the Wheelhouse. I got a good friend coming to us all the way from California. Should be a good one. Before we get to her, though, let's go ahead and run the intro. Welcome to Wheelchair Wednesday. Stick around. All right, let's welcome Amanda Barnes to the show. What is going on? How are you?
Good.
Pretty good. Pretty
I'm
good.
all right. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, surprisingly enough, I did not have too many difficulties getting this thing running. Cross my fingers, knock on wood. It looks like we're going good. Yeah, it didn't take me a half an hour to get it running. So thanks for coming on the show. I know I've been trying to get you on here for a while. I took a little break there.
Yeah.
You know, the whole teeth situation, getting the teeth yanked out. I'm number 8 on the list, so that's looking good. It's getting closer. I don't know if anybody, what you know about dentures, but some people, when they get them yanked out, they get ones put right in. And they wait, you know, and then they just have them. Yeah. And then they get new ones. I was told that's bad. I don't know. But I do it my way. They do it their ways. We're going to start off doing it your way, this whole thing. Whatever you want to do. I got 10 questions. Well, 12 questions to ask you.
Right.
You kind of do, you know, say whatever you want to say. If you want to talk about a certain thing, you got an hour. That's usually what I say. It probably won't take that long. But we're going to start off with the most important question. Well, probably not the most important question, but the one you get all the time is, how did it happen?
Yeah.
So you can tell people about that. How? Yeah.
Okay, so I was 22 years old. That was back in 2011. I was walking in a crosswalk at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I hit the crosswalk button, and I, you know, waited for it to turn. I waited for it to, you know, be
switch over,
cross,
right?
And then all of a sudden, I'm crossing into the crosswalk, and I got hit by a car, and I got dragged like 30 feet down the road and kind of just left there for dead. But yeah, it was a hit and run. They never found the driver, so I became a T12 complete spinal cord injury.
Dang. Yeah. Hit and run. Was this like what was you out? You was just out like kind of coming from a party, or what was the situation?
No, I coming from a party. No, I was coming from studying.
Oh, okay.
Studying for a test.
You were a good kid, by the way. We just want to put that out there.
Not always, but
right.
No, we were studying for a test, and I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time, and well, I wasn't with him when I was crossing the street, but yeah.
So just crossing the street.
We had just gotten done.
Okay. Man, that's kind of one of those crazy things that only happens like once in a while. You never hear about. You know what I mean? Like, now when all this happened, how long ago was that? You said?
It happened. It's gonna be 14 years in July.
Wow. July 12th. That's my birthday. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not even lying. Well, dang, that's something we know now. So, man, that's a long time ago. So when it happened, obviously it's different than a car crash or an accident where somebody has like full coverage insurance or it's going to pay for everything in the hospital and stuff like that. So once you got hit and you went to the hospital, then what happened?
I mean, they saved my life.
Well, I mean, what I mean by that is like, right, was you able to get like treatment for like rehabilitation, or did your insurance cover anything?
Oh,
or?
Yeah, my insurance did cover. They took me to a hospital that was like not covered under my insurance. Because they didn't know anything about me. Like, they didn't know who I was. I was all banged up, you know, like
right.
They just picked me up off the street. So they took me to the nearest trauma hospital, which was one of the best trauma hospitals. And I was in Oakland. And so they took me to Highland Hospital, which is the place where they get like all the gunshot wounds and stuff, that was the best trauma hospital that I could have gone to. So I was lucky.
Right.
Like, yeah. So, but I ended up there, and but yeah, my insurance paid for it, and then I went to California Pacific Medical Center in San Francisco. Um, yeah, for rehab, and it was good. It was good rehab, and
Nice.
yeah.
Sweet. So you get out of there, and you're coming home. What was it like trying to transition into your new life?
Um, well, I had a lot of family support. I had a lot of support in general. So like the support made it so much easier for me. But I mean, as far as like transitioning mentally, like emotionally, it was hard. Like, I mean, at first it was very hard. I was just kind of like waking up like what the fuck? Like, is this my reality now? Like,
Right.
how is this my reality now, you know? But like I got lucky. I mean, I was lucky because I have a friend that I've known for a very long time that like surprisingly, I mean, uh she was paralyzed, and before I even became paralyzed, we were really good friends, and
Right.
I just got to like I saw how badass she was, you know, like and how resilient and strong she was, and like I had that representation um in my mind, you know, and I'm like, all right, well, if she can do it, I can do it, you know,
Right. So you
so
already kind of like you were already like, damn. First, you think about it, and you're like, oh, what am I gonna do now? But then having a friend that you already know's been through it, that can do it, that's thriving, having a good time, kind of does help a little
mhm,
bit.
yeah,
Um,
it did.
yeah. I had a friend that was in a wheelchair, a couple of them actually before I got injured, but I think it's not a spinal cord injury, but still, you look
Hmm.
at people like that, and you're like, man, if they can do it, then why can't I do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just making sure we don't have any questions or whatever. Nothing yet. If you guys that are watching live, if you guys have any questions, feel free to jot them down, and we'll ask them as long as they're appropriate. Um, so number two is, what is your pet peeves about being in a wheelchair?
Ugh, I mean, I've got a few, but I would say the number one pet peeve would be like somebody come trying, just some random stranger trying to come up behind my chair and push me or something, or like, or somebody trying to grab my chair when I'm trying to get in the car and get my stuff in the car because like I've got a system, you know, we've all got our systems
Right.
when when we're getting our chair, breaking it down, getting it in the car. Um, some people will just come up, some random strangers, they'll just come up and be like, "Here, let me get that for you," and I try to be nice about it, but it just like, you know, it irritates me.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but because I'm like, well, like I wouldn't be out driving by myself if I couldn't do it, you know?
Right.
So
Right. Like they're like, wait, where's your caregiver? You're out here all by yourself. Let me help you out here. Hold on. And you're like, dude, get off of me. I got it. What are you doing?
right.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing about being in a power chair is nobody tries to come and push me because it's like, dude, I'll run you right over. Like, get away from the chair. Don't do it. Just quick
Here.
story. It's kind of a funny one. I was at a car show this last weekend, and there was a
Uh-huh.
bunch of people like surrounding this event that was going on. Well, the event ended, but nobody was moving. They were all just sitting there on the back of my chair. I turned on my big speaker and I went on my phone and I hit the button, which was like I was recording a car that was badass,
Yeah.
and it sounded like a deep rumble. And then they thought it was me. They thought I was the car with the deep rumble. They turned around and got out of my way, and I just thought that was funny. I don't know,
Yeah.
funny things about being in a wheelchair. All right, I come up with dumb crap like that all day long. Don't worry about it. We'll be talking about something, and then my brain will be like, "Hey, that reminds me," and then we'll go off to something completely not on topic. Um, what is your biggest fear about living life in a wheelchair?
I think I already went through it.
Oh well, yeah, I guess so.
Honestly,
I guess that does cover it.
I, well, I mean, because I feel like one of the biggest fears for everybody is like the pressure sores, and I've already been going through it. Like I had my first one in 2023, and then I went through two flap surgeries, um, because like the first one didn't take, and then I had to have a second one, and then I ended up, you know, I kept having issues, and like it's been going on, like it'd been going on since 2022 until like up until now, like I mean, yeah, like that was, I mean, I didn't. That wasn't my biggest fear, because I never feared it before. Like
Until you
I
realize
didn't
what it
even know
was,
about.
right, and what it could do.
No, nobody really warned me about that kind of stuff before.
Right.
But like I feel like now it kind of, it's scary, but at the same time it's not scary anymore because I've lived through it, and I've survived it. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something that's like when I went to Mary Free Bed here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is a great place to go because they teach you everything. But I didn't even really know anything about it until they brought it up, but they were really adamant on like, okay, dude, this is what it is. You gotta do checks all the time.
Yeah.
Which I mean, granted, now that we're out, we don't do it as much as we should, obviously. Just like exercising and drinking water like we should. Like we don't do it nowhere near as much as we should, but
Yeah.
being in the chair, like you said, it's something where it's on your mind all the time. And if you're not doing this or pressure sores, I do this all the time. I do this in public, and my friends are like, "What are you doing, man? Letting one rip?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I'm doing all the time."
It does look awkward. People look at you all weird, like, what are you doing?
Right, but it's better than having a damn pressure sore and being stuck in the hospital for weeks and months on end. That can kill you, though. You've heard about people dying from that,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a primal fear up there on the list. Next question: dating or married?
I'm single. I almost got married once. I had a fiance, but that didn't work out. We parted ways like a couple of months before the wedding, and I mean I've dated. Like I haven't had an issue with, like, I've had relationships, being paralyzed. I just I'm not interested in dating right now, like
Right.
at all. Um, I'm interested in self-development and just trying to improve myself and like love myself more. Um, yeah.
Makes sense.
So
Now, when
yeah,
dating in a wheelchair, is it like because you've dated other people like out of wheelchairs? I'm guessing, or in wheelchairs.
yeah, I have.
Does the people out of the wheelchair do they treat you different in a wheelchair?
Well,
That you
I don't know.
from your experience.
I only dated one guy a long time ago. Are you talking about a person in a chair or a person
No,
that's
like
not in a
so
chair?
you're dating like an able-bodied guy, and if he knows you're in a wheelchair, you say you dated one like able-bodied while in a wheelchair. Did they treat you at all any differently?
I mean, I don't think so. No, no.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I always think about that. Like, I don't know, me being a guy, like if I was a guy and I was able-bodied and dating a girl in a wheelchair, I feel like I would try to be a little bit differently, maybe more like not knowing what to do. I don't know.
yeah, I guess they do. I mean, they do have a lot of questions, and one of the main ones is like, how do you have sex?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's,
that's a big one.
um, yeah. So I mean, yeah, like you definitely have to teach them a lot. Like, I did date one guy for like 6 months, like years and years ago, who was in a wheelchair, and like, it was interesting. Um, but like we kind of, had that camaraderie where, we knew about each other. We didn't have to teach each other
Right.
things about ourselves, because we shared that in common, that we both had spinal cord injuries. So, but yeah, like I guess it is kind of different. Like you just have to teach the able-bodied men, like the things that you have to deal with. And I mean, it's a good like way to weed out the good ones from the bad, like,
Right.
or weed out the bad ones.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. Man, it sounds so weird trying to say S's with no teeth. I'm sorry. I can't get used to it. I will get used to it, and then as soon as I do, I'll have teeth again. Okay. Now, what is something that you wish you could do that you can no longer do?
As I would say climbing rocks and jumping into the ocean or like the river. Because I like one of the coolest trips I ever had. I went to Maui and went to Hana. I don't know if you've heard of Hana, but like we before my accident, I jumped off this huge like cliff into the ocean, and it was epic, and it was like, yeah, it was life changing. Um, but I wish that I could do something like that again. And I just like, I love the beach, so I would say probably like, just digging my toes into the sand or something, and like, or running or you know jumping and diving into waves. So
Right. Yeah, it's definitely the feeling alone of just like for me, it's like taking my shoes off and put my feet in the grass or something. You know what I mean? Like it's a feeling that you never realize you're gonna take for granted until you can't do it, and you're like, damn, man, like that'd feel great to do that again, or just like like you said, dig your feet down in the sand and just kind of lay back, enjoy the sun. Um, so yeah, I can see that. Now cliff diving, I don't know about all that, jumping into like an ocean or
it
something
was
like
so
that.
much fun.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. That's crazy. I'm not really a daredevil type, so I'd probably sit that one out. I'd be up on the top of the cliff with a beer saying, "Great job! I got that all on video." hmm
Yeah.
Um, what about if you could fix one thing about your paralyzed body? What would it be?
Uh, I would like to be able to, I I guess, go to the bathroom normal and like and feel
It's like
certain
bladder.
areas.
Yeah, so like a bladder. Like let me just control and feel my bladder again.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, one and bowel too, the bladder and
Well,
bowel
yeah,
stuff.
bladder ball. Yeah, both. Yeah,
Yeah.
two in one. No, I feel that. Some people they have trouble getting into a routine. I was taught to do my stuff every other day, which has been working pretty good. But we all have our accidents, and we don't know when it's coming. So it's definitely something. You know what I mean? Albert Shaw, what up? He knows what I'm talking about. He just said what's happening. This is a live show, folks. Just in case you guys are watching this afterwards, we record these live, and people will talk about it live and ask questions. All right. So yeah, the bathroom thing I get. We've heard it before. You know what I mean? Like it's one of the bigger ones up on the list. So yeah, absolutely. What about your pain level? Are you in any pain at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, yeah. What kind of question is that? Of course.
I yeah, I normally have chronic pain, but like recently I've been going through some weird stuff. I actually have an MRI for like my hips and pelvis and stuff, and my thoracic, and yeah. Um so I don't know what's going on, but like I've been experiencing some excess pain that I've never experienced before, so yeah. Yeah, been going through it, but I'm yeah, I'm toughing it out.
Now,
So
what do you do for like normal like so pain? So I mean, you got nerve pain, physical pain. What are your natural? Do you take like natural stuff, or what is your
I
routine like?
try, I try for the most part. I mean, like I try all kinds of things, but like I still have like pain meds occasion when I need them, but I also smoke marijuana at nighttime to help with the pain, um, and to help me sleep. Um, and then I do like well, I don't actively do the massage and chiropractor, but I'm looking for a massage and chiropractor, and I'd like to go back to acupuncture. So there's some things that I do need to start utilizing to manage it better. So I don't think that the doctors that I have are very good at helping me figure out my, like the managing thing. I'm actually gonna be seeing a spinal cord injury specialist here in my local area very soon, which I'm excited about. So,
Nice.
because I've never, yeah, we don't normally have doctors that have spinal cord injury specialties. So, he's new to the area and he's the only one. And yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. I hope they can help you figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people I've talked to, especially doctors, even like the honest doctors, will literally look at me and they'll ask me all these questions, and I'll be like, I thought you guys were supposed to know about all this. And one of them looked at me and said, dude, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Even with the advancement of medicine, spinal cord injuries are still new to the medical field. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know a quarter of what we could do or what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times they're trying new stuff. They're trying experimental drugs. They're trying this or trying that to see if it'll work. And a lot of people don't get that you're being experimented on with certain drugs. So it's like, that's why a lot of people advocate for, make sure what you're taking is not going to hurt you or whatever. I'm on gabapentin. A lot of people don't like gabapentin, but for me, it works. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever works for you. I forgot to mention that I actually just recently experimented with meditation and praying.
There you go.
And the meditation and the prayer, like, actually did work. Like, because I was having, like, some excruciating pain, and it wouldn't go away. And I don't know what happened, but I literally just laid there and then just, like, focused on my pain and, like, kind of, like, prayed it away. And, like, yeah, it was weird, but it worked for some reason.
Yeah,
so,
I've heard a lot about meditation, and spinal cord injury. It's a lot to have to empty your mind to get to do it, but once you get there, it's like a form of enlightenment. People go into meditation and they'll just completely, like, I don't know. So I don't even know how to explain it. It'll sometimes it'll even heal people. You know what I mean, for certain ailments or what's wrong with them. So, Albert said doctors are a joke. They try something to leave you with something, right? Yep. Have you come back for some new pill? All right.
Absolutely.
Well, moving right along down the line, when you got out of the hospital and, like, one of your, first times you're coming back home, living with your injury, what was the biggest thing that helped you the most when you got back from the hospital? Or kind of like, what do you think was the biggest thing that helped you, period, like, deal with the spinal cord injury at first?
My family.
Nice.
My family. And my support system. My family was my rock, for sure. Like, I have an amazing family. I mean, despite a lot of us will say, oh, our family, we have internal conflicts or whatever, like, like, I think everybody's family has something, but, like, my family is amazing. And, yeah, they've been there for me for everything.
Right.
And I couldn't thank them enough. So I love them.
Awesome. Shout out Amanda's family! Give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, if you do have that support system, that's amazing. I think it's terrific. For some people, it could be anything, but to have somebody there with you, for me, it was my fiance to have with me, and obviously my little family come through, and to have people close to you, I think is the biggest help at all. You know what I mean? Just to have somebody with you there, going through it with you.
Right.
All right. What about traveling? You like traveling?
Yes, I do. Traveling is fun. I don't get to do it often because short on funds, but yeah, I love traveling. So.
When's the last trip you took?
Last trip I took was in February.
Oh yeah? Where'd you go? Anywhere cool?
I went to Arkansas to see a friend.
Oh, sounds like fun. Now, when you're traveling, are you riding or do you drive? You drive, right?
I drive, but I took a plane on this one.
Oh yeah, hell no, I'm good on that. Screw the airplane, especially nowadays. You are crazy cooter coming at you. I'm telling you. Now, sorry, crazy cooter was from Dukes of Hazzard a long time ago. It was just a funny thing. Some people will get that. My old guys in the group, they're laughing. Now, when driving, I don't know. I took a trip to Ohio once, which is like probably a 7, or not even that. It's probably like a 6-hour drive. I can only drive so much, and then I'm like, my back just doesn't want to do it anymore. And then so like when I switch over and my fiance drives, I'm not locked in the van. So now it's like I'm bouncing everywhere, and it's almost worse. So it's like we got a trip plane coming up to Florida that we're driving down, and like I'm kind of nervous, but I'm kind of excited. And I'm just like, man, I better take a gummy or something because I don't know.
Right.
I feel like the more motion on, especially if you have hardware, it just takes a toll on you. You know what I mean? I think being hydrated is a big thing, which is hard to do because with us, getting hydrated means you got to pee more. Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, it's a pain in the butt for some of us because a girl, you probably got to have like different different kind of accommodations for a guy. Guys, I'll just be in my van, looking around, make sure nobody's there, and I'm going. I mean, maybe it's the same for you. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's all things you got to take into consideration for sure. Okay, this is a kind of a crazy question. It should have been number 2,
I
but
think it's cutting out. Okay.
Okay, yep, internet issues.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
If you could, I couldn't hear you.
If you could go back before your accident happened and change whatever you had to change in order for it not to happen, but you forgot everything that you've learned up until this point, would you go back and live your life the way you were, or would you stay the way you are?
Hell no. No, I definitely would not. I wouldn't, because no, I appreciate everything that I've learned and all of the growth that I've gained over the years from my accident. So yeah, I value. I mean, it sucks to be paralyzed, but I think that it happened for a reason, and it happened for a very good reason. And I think that it just kind of led me to where I am now. And I wouldn't have gotten the wisdom, and I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have now. I wouldn't have the friends that I have now. Like, I wouldn't have a spinal cord injury family that I have now.
Right.
No. Yeah. I think that it's a catalyst.
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm with you. I agree with you. I want to say what's up to Yisro, Albert, Sean, everybody that's on the side there. I see you guys talking. Sean said I made it. Better late than never. Al said he drove all the way to Florida. Yeah, good for you, Al. That's why he don't never come visit me no more. All right, well, couple more questions for you. What about hobbies? What do you do for hobbies? I know we talked a little bit about it, but and one thing, we were going to use that picture for your thumbnail, but the other one we like better. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I paint. I draw. I make wire wrap jewelry. I like to teach art, which I am teaching art, and I teach adaptive painting. Adaptive painting and adaptive art to other people with spinal cord injuries. What else? I mean,
we're gonna put a link to that too, right? So you got a link that way they can like sign up or watch you or something like that.
Yes, yeah. Just Art for Hope by Amanda Barnes on Facebook. If you find that page, we can share out a link to it.
Yeah, I'll put the link. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like to be out in nature and camp, and I love camping. I love traveling. I love nature. Anything that has to do with nature. I'm there. So. Yeah,
the older I get, the more I appreciate nature. That's one crazy thing about me. Sean said amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know, something about the peacefulness of it. When you go outside and it's like, you erase your mind, you just listen to the sounds and the smells and the sights. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, and the paintings you guys do are like awesome. I've seen a couple of those
Thank you.
Like when you did the check out what everybody did and this is what we did today, and I was like, wow, man, like that's pretty cool. You guys really get into it. Probably have a real good time. Thanks for that, Albert.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're definitely going to share that, guys. If you get a minute and you want to check it out, if you ain't got nothing or you know somebody that's bored and they want to get into something, definitely get them signed up. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we do have a little bit. We do have a workshop fee, but some of them are free.
Okay. So. Okay. Well,
yeah.
We'll let
scholarship too.
There you go. So there's all kinds of different stuff. I'm sure you got to go check it out. Don't take my word for it. Go to the link. We'll put it in the description after this live video. So if you're watching live, just wait for it to be ended, and then here in a couple minutes, we'll put it on there. Couple more for you. One is fitness. Diet. What do you do for that? Fitness and diet.
For fitness and diet, well, I work out a lot. I go to the gym. I do lots of like cardio. As far as like what I can do with cardio, I do like the hand cycle machine. I'll do like battle ropes. There's like a rope pull down machine thing that I like to do. I like to do weights and just kind of strength training. Um, I used to work out at this place called SciFit, which is it was like a spinal cord injury um, gym, and we had personal trainers, but it's kind of expensive, so I wasn't able to continue going regularly. But I did go for quite a while after my accident, and that's kind of where I learned a lot of adaptive exercises. But yeah, I continuously try to keep my body strong, and I work out as much as I can, because it helps both my mind and my body. And then as far as like eating, um, I generally eat very. I try to eat as clean as I can. Like I eat like a lot of organic food. I don't eat any fast food. Um, I try to eat as healthy as I can, but like I'm not always 100% healthy. Like I don't restrict myself to like any foods, but there are foods that like I just don't have the want to eat anymore. Like I don't like to eat tons of sugar. Um, and then I like to do lots of protein smoothies. Protein's really important, especially because of the pressure sores I've been dealing with.
Right.
So lots of protein smoothies, lots of um, yeah, lots of
Awesome.
chicken and all that.
Yeah, that's one thing I need to get into is like doing the shakes and the smoothies. I tried to do one, and for something, I don't know if I got to do solid foods or what, but the shakes and smoothies, my stomach does not like. Or maybe it's like you got to get used to it. I don't know, but
Right.
yeah, it's hard. It really is hard to try to
Yeah.
eat healthy and to like, especially when you got, fast food on every corner and all the bad stuff you could get possibly, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely want to try to do that. People listening out there, eat healthy if you can. Um, Now, one of my
Yeah.
last questions I got for you would be, what would be your best piece of advice for somebody who's newly injured?
I would say be very careful of your butt and make sure that you get pressure mapping and sit on the right cushion. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I would say that.
the right cushion. Speaking of which, do you have a Rojo?
I have a Rojo. I also have the old Aquila cushion, and I have an Ease cushion too. So I have the alternating air cushions.
Nice.
The ones that you turn on, they're electric, and they do like the pressure relieving
Oh,
things.
yeah. It'll like switch chambers and all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
What? So obviously you have a manual chair. I was gonna ask this, but I wasn't gonna ask this. I don't know. Now that we're talking about chairs, what type of chair do
Yeah.
you got, and what do you name it? Is there a name for it? Do you name your chair?
I don't. I've never named it. I heard you ask that before, and now I want to name my chair, but I think I'll name my next one.
There you go.
But I have a Tylite, TRA, and yeah. So the the one I'm on, I'm actually using my old one right now because it's my only titanium one, and it's lighter. Um, but yeah, they're both Tylites. I really love the Tylites. So
Yeah, I've heard good things about those.
yeah.
I have a Apex something or other. I forget what it's called, but I barely ever use it, only on inside in the wintertime because it's my manual. And out here when I'm
Yeah.
out and about, it's like it's easier for me to get around in my power chair. But I named mine Old Blue was my manual, and then my power
Nice.
chair I named Johnny 5 just because it goes up and reclines and does all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's something fun. That way, kids get involved. You can tell them what the name is, and that's kind of why I spruced mine up. I got like cool lights and blinkers and honkers and all kinds of cool stuff on it. So yeah, that would be my like. Don't be afraid to show off. Put something on your
Yeah.
wheelchair and show people who you are. All right. Well, I tell you what. What's the last piece you want to leave with anybody? You want to tell anybody any final words before we click off here?
Any final words? I don't know. Love your life and love yourself.
Hey,
And
that's good.
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like that. Love your life and love yourself, folks. You heard it. All right. Well, Amanda, stick with me here. We're gonna let everybody go, but then me and you will, follow up afterwards and end it out. Wheelie Awesome Adventures, good to see you. Israel, Dwight, and Sean, good to see you. Albert, good to see you. Thanks for chiming in, guys. This is a back-to-back, so we got the one and only. Yeah, we got Wheelchair Rick coming up next. If you guys want to stick around for that, that'll be a separate one. Yeah, that guy's crazy. Doing wheelies, doing 85 mile an hour going down hills in Canada. Crazy. But anyway, thanks, Amanda. We're going to talk to you in just a second. For everybody else,
Thank you.
we'll see you next time here on Wheelchair Wednesday.